backup safeties were so bad. Maybe they default to the veteran status of Jaquiski Tartt, and I put him on there. I didn't want to put him on there because he's done nothing. And I outthought myself. I outmanaged myself in baseball terms. They did everything, and we told our favorite listener, Jaquiski's the best safety on the Eagles. Well, by the way, are we getting our apology there?
Yeah. And a good morning, Birds fans. A dirty dozen days until the season gets underway. And dirty is a good word to use today because it's a dirty deed that a lot of NFL teams, all NFL teams have to do, and that's cut their roster down to 53. So a lot of guys who came in, worked hard in preseason camps and off-season workouts are going to be told, yeah, you're not quite one of our best 53. The Eagles will have to do that before 4 o'clock today. They got a little bit of a jump start on it tomorrow. And Johnny Mac and I will, with the help of two of our better buds and guests, will try and get you up to speed on what's probably going to look like the original 53-man roster today. Johnny Mac, you tweeted me or texted me about an hour and a half, 2 hours after the show to let me know that Jaquiski Tartt was going to be one of those players who are not on the original 53.
Yeah, that was a tough one for me, Jody. I flew too close to the stars, man. I was trying to hit a home run. I'm trying to win this thing. The Eagles beat right of roster. And I said, you know what? The backup safeties were so bad. Maybe they default to the veteran status of Jaquiski Tartt, and I put him on there. I didn't want to put him on there because he's done nothing. And I outthought myself. I outmanaged myself in baseball terms. They did everything, and we told our favorite listener, Jaquiski's the best safety on the Eagles. Well, by the way, are we getting our apology there?
Yeah.
Did we get it yet?
We'll keep an eye on the stream today. I'm guessing Dominique goes low profile today.
Yeah.
And just let me interrupt here because I'm going to be a pain in the rear end. I got no problem with people who disagree with us.
Oh, no problem.
We get guys on the stream. I get people call me on WIP. Both John and I have Twitter accounts, so people will respond to things that we say, or in John's case, right. You can disagree all you want. Shoot, I'm wrong a lot. I get that. And I'm one of the few, the proud, who's willing to admit when he's wrong. And I think McMullen is for the most part, too. It just don't make it personal. Don't. It's you, media guy, and I hate when people do that.
No, we're all the same. Yeah,
big media.
I always joke we're having
a
lunch.
Media guy don't understand. You media guy, as long as you're not nasty about it, you just want to go, yo, sorry, John, sorry, Judd. I think you missed a boat on this one. That's perfectly fine. But our Jaquiski Tartt fan, who you and I both said from the day that he was acquired, okay, we'll see. I don't know. Why did San Francisco separate from this guy? They're a smart defense, good defense. He's up there in age. I don't know that this guy's a lock to come in. It's the best safety on the Philadelphia Eagles. And you and I were both well off base to question as to whether it was a good signing for the Eagles. Well, he's the first cut down to 53 from 80. Let me go there with the question, and I want to let you respond any way, shape, form you want as well. Why do you think he was the first? Why do you think? Because that's early. And not only was all of yesterday's releases early as considered to compared to those who are going today, but he was the first of the bunch. Are they giving him a chance to sign on with another team? Why do you think they made Jaquiski the Tartt of their list?
I don't believe he was the first. He was the second. Cameron Tom was the first.
Okay. My apologies.
But we're talking minutes. One was like right after the other. Which, by the way, Cameron Tom, another ill part of the NFL. He played every single snap in the preseason finale, Jody.
Wow.
Every single snap. All 65 offensive snaps that poor guy had to go through. And, as I say, crash test dummies. That bothers me with the safety hypocrisy.
You know who I thought about in that vein when the Eagles announcements came out yesterday? Hundley. How many
Yeah.
carries did he have to take in the preseason? And he was
the
an early
workhorse.
cut as well. I truly thought there's Johnny Mac's crash test dummy.
Yeah,
They
he
made
was
him.
the and Huntley's a good, a good example of, with the 67-yard touchdown. People get, oh, he got the 67. Yeah, but if you watch the play, that was just pathetic defense from
Tackling
Miami.
by the Dolphins, yes.
They had him pinned in, and it would have been a nice gain. It would have been a 10, 15-yard game. Just two guys just completely didn't do what they were supposed to do. So you got to be very careful with those preseason game evaluations. But yeah, with Jaquiski, it was, I mean, the Eagles were trying to tell me. I'm angry at myself. I mean, they didn't give him one stinking first team rep all summer. Not one. Not one. And remember, both Anthony Harris and Marcus Epps missed some time. So everybody got first team reps. Kayvon Wallace got first team reps.
Andre Sacheraye.
Andre Sacheraye, Josiah Scott. They moved Josiah Scott from cornerback and gave him first team reps. Reed Blankenship, an undrafted rookie, got first team reps. The only one who didn't was Jaquiski Tartt. And boy, I'm angry at myself. They were saying, look, this just isn't working out in their actions. And yeah, but again, the contract was to the point, and that's what we said originally when they signed him. The contract tells you a lot, right, Jody? And, they can move on with no repercussions whatsoever. So if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Didn't work out. And, he's probably not a candidate to come back either. It's very clearly from his side as well. This is probably not the best spot for him. And obviously wasn't getting a lot of attention elsewhere. So this might be the end of the road. Who knows? Somebody will be desperate and probably give him another chance, but who knows if he ever latches on again.
Yeah, two things. Number one, I really thought you were onto something in your article on JAKIBSports.com that maybe the Eagles could negotiate listen, we've got roster crunch issues. If we let you go, wink, wink, nod, nod, we'll re-sign you after week 2. I thought that was a distinct possibility. But with the fact, yesterday I told you, you said that don't know if that'll work. Somebody might. There was nobody else in the league who offered him any more than the Eagles, who signed him to a below-market contract. So I didn't know how much the interest was.
But from my standpoint there, it wasn't about money, because obviously he's not getting a big deal. It's about sort of, people, they don't like the way they're treated, and situation is they don't think they got a fair opportunity, and they just don't want to be in a certain situation. That's what I meant for more of that aspect. If you, a veteran guy, you probably thought he was going to be defaulted to a certain extent, and he wasn't, and he was getting passed over and passed. They were moving guys. Like I said, they were moving positions. They were giving undrafted guys. I forget who was on Twitter. The Honey Badger was on Twitter, and he quickly deleted it. This is the only industry where experience is valued, where youth is valued more than experience. So everybody was like raising, what's that about? And it's not the only industry, believe me, but it is one of those industries where, they oftentimes, we talk about it all the time with Howie, GMs, and it's not just Howie, GMs default to their draft picks. And those are the guys that get the second and third and fourth chances sometimes. And, veteran players, you got to be really good. You got to be really good to hit 30 and feel comfortable in this league.
And that's exactly where Jaquiski Tartt was at. And he missed some time in camp for quote unquote personal reasons, right, Johnny Mac? That was what you were told. No one has any idea what that was about, but maybe Jaquiski felt maybe he's a watcher of Mac on Birds 365 and saw Dominique come to his defense that he's the best safety on the Philadelphia Eagles. I'd lean more on what the coaches are choosing to do with you in practice, as John McMullen correctly points out, never got any first-team reps, as my barometer as to what kind of shape you're in and the possibility of making the roster there, Jaquiski. But He is now an ex-Philadelphia Eagle, and yeah, if he's willing to come in and just be a crash test dummy, maybe he gets another job. But I just don't. He didn't show enough to me in camp to say this guy can still play and he can help a football team. The Eagles are not great at safety, and they couldn't even bother to keep him to 53. So I'm not sure exactly where his future lies. What's the future of the Philadelphia Eagles look at safety? We know who the two starters are going to be. They're going to have at least one backup safety, I would think. Then they might have one guy who's a safety / corner, slot guy, can do a couple different things. Are they here on the roster? Is this the position? If there's one position where the Eagles are going to go out and pick up a guy off the waiver wire, is it safety more than anything else? Where did the Eagles go from here at safety, Johnny Mac?
I think there's a couple positions. I think safety's one of them. I think tight end is one of them. I think running back is one of them. I think cornerback is one of them.
You think they're going to make a play for a tight end?
Backup? Yeah. I mean, if somebody's out there, you comfortable with Jack Stoll as the backup tight end?
He's their blocking tight end. Tartt is their backup tight end.
You comfortable with all right? You want to go that route?
I would be surprised. I would be surprised if a tight end hits the free agent market that gets cut. That I go, yeah, this guy's much better than unless. Hold on. I'm editing myself on the fly here. If that, and I really don't think. I don't think this is going to happen. If you can find that combo guy, that guy who is like Dallas Goedert, can both catch and block, proficient in both areas. If that, and oh, by the way, if you can do that, chances are you're not going to be on the waiver wire. But if you can find that guy, then maybe they would go to him and let a Stoll go. But if you can't find a guy who can block, they're not cutting Stoll and they're not cutting Calcaterra, so they don't have room for another.
Again, it's about the. It's always about the players available, but I mean, if somebody is available, who they deem an upgrade, and I thought you were self-editing yourself because it just came across that the Bills are cutting O.J. Howard. Now, that's a big name trap. I don't know where OJ is from, but it says a lot if they're cutting him. And he's never lived up to the hype as a number 1 overall pick, but he's probably got more talent than Grant Calcaterra. I'm going to go on. It's always about who's available,
right? But John, we could say that about every position on the team.
I'm saying those are the positions. I'm saying tight end is one of the positions that they're looking for an upgrade. Running back's one of the positions that they're looking for an upgrade. Safety's one of the positions that they're looking for an upgrade. And I'm talking about depth, obviously depth. They tried out a corner yesterday. And, all they said, how many good young corners we have? How many good young corners? Kid from the Cowboys, I forget his name, Quandre Mosley, worked out yesterday. Because Mac McCain and Kerry Vincent and Tay Gowan have been Mac McCain and Kerry Vincent and Tay Gowan. They haven't been what the Eagles expected. Those are the positions that they'll be scanning the waiver wire for and saying, can we get better? Can we get better at this position? Yeah, I mean, you're always going to default to the guys that you have been with you all summer. So it's going to have to be a clear and significant upgrade from the personnel department's evaluation. If you wanted me to put odds on which is the most likely, it would probably be running back. Because I think they need a 4th running back, and he's not here. And there's already a lot of options out there that would be significantly better. Looks like Drake's going to sign with Baltimore. Everybody's calling on Alexander Madison, which he would be a perfect fit for what this team needs. But I don't think the Eagles would give up what it would take to get him. But it'll be easy for the Eagles to find an upgrade at running back. The key is you got to get it right. They picked up Jason Huntley on waivers. You need to get it right. But that's a position where they actually need a body. As bad as safety might look to us from a depth perspective, they don't need a body. They have plenty of bodies to choose from. They actually need a body of running
So if they
back.
find this running back, and I get what you're saying about it's got to be the right fit. If he doesn't shake out, he doesn't shake out. He's not available. Active on opening day, you think they're carrying 4 running backs?
Well, it depends. Again, if they get Alexander Madison, yeah, he's going to be active on opening day. Yeah, it depends about who the upgrade is. If they get Jason Huntley off the waiver wire and they're throwing a dart, no. But there's an opportunity at running back because they need a running back. They need a running back. So if they get the right one, that's the guy who has the opportunity to make a splash. I'm mainly talking about the body part of it, right? That's what I'm like. If you get Chuck Clark, great. He's a starting safety. We'll see how quickly it ramps up. But they don't need a body at safety. At least they in other words, I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly. They already have Josiah Scott and Andre Sacheret and Reed Blankenship and Kayvon Wallace. They might not be good enough, but they have the numbers. They don't have the numbers at running back. They need a 4th running back, and they don't have a 4th running back, so he's not here. So it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think they need a 4th running back, to be 100% honest with you. I think they'll be good with 3. Did you have 4 running backs on your final 53?
No, because there's not 4 worthy. They're not getting through 17 games with 3 running backs. They're not getting through 7. Now, for week 1, yeah, maybe you don't need a running back. Right. They're not getting through 17 games with 3 running backs. I'm not talking about active roster on game day week 1. I'm saying they need 4 running backs on the roster for a 17-game season. Especially
when you say on the roster, are you including the practice squad?
Well, that's probably not good enough. I'd prefer to have a guy on the practice squad is probably not good enough. Again, I'd prefer to have an upgrade at running back, a significant upgrade, to be honest. Whether they're able to get it or not is the big question. And let's be honest, at the cut down to 53, the odds are against you, unless you're going to make a deal, for a significant piece, and that changes the dynamic. But I don't think the Eagles value the talk with Madison is a 3 or a conditional 4 at worst. And the Eagles aren't giving up that for a running back.
Yeah. And that's why I think they're going to come into the season. I think, and I know our first guest will agree with us, the former Oklahoma standout will be on the Eagles practice squad, and he'll be, quote unquote, their 4th running back. If and when injury crops up, got to elevate him for a game. I don't think they're going to end up. Now, if the perfect guy drops in their lap, yeah, they'll reconfigure the roster to make room for him. But I think they're ready to go to war with the 3 guys they have and Kennedy on the practice squad. We'll ask that of our first guest. He's in the green room. We're ready to punch him up from the 33rdteam.com and right here with us on JAKIB Sports, part of JAKIBsports.com's NFL coverage. Paul Dumwitz joins us next here on Birds 365.